Are you ready?
Yeah, turn up the heat.
Are you ready?
Is he ready?
Oh, yeah, he's ready.
It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats.
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, and welcome to High on Sports. I am Ralphie, and with me, as always...
Hey, I'm Von Erich. I'm going to sit over here.
It's Von Erich at a different seat. How awesome is that? Woo!
I can turn everything around.
Ashley could not be with us this evening. She's on the vehicular IR. Well, not IR, because that means like the whole season. Vehicular 7-day disabled list. They go on 7? Do they do 7?
Yeah, 7-day disabled list for a concussion.
Sure, there you go. Ashley has the equivalent of a concussion. Her car has a concussion. We'll leave it like that. So she's going through our advanced concussion test that we implement here at High on Sports. And if she passes, then she'll be back here Monday.
This chair
Gotta keep
sucks.
waiting. It's a terrible chair. I have a great chair, just so you know. It's not a good chair. It's got its flaws, but it builds character. Builds character sitting in it. Well, thank you for... We're so all over the place already, and we just started. Whether you're listening at home on your computer or on one of the many glorious apps, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your post-Super Bowl evening. If you're not listening on one of the many glorious apps, remember on your smartphone, go to the App Store, search TuneIn Radio. Once you have it, by the way, free to install. Once you have it, remember to search MSC Radio Network. Click play, and you are listening to us on the go, in your pocket, in your hand, wherever your phone is. Set it on a table. Do whatever you want with it. It's your phone. I didn't buy it. And remember, as always, email your questions or comments to shows@morningshowcentral.com. Tweet your questions to @high_on_sports or with the hashtag #HighOnSports. Facebook.com/HighOnSports and HighOnSportsRadioShow.com. That is the website. Get there for the archive of all our past shows. My blog, a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, HighOnSportsRadioShow.com. We have got a jam-packed show. You know we're talking Super Bowl, so let's get right into things here. It is round one. Let's go. All right, the big game, as some commercials call it. The most memorable thing about this game, and it's always weird when it's something that's not exactly football, is the power outage.
Yeah.
I mean, a power outage. This is the Super Bowl. This is supposed to be where all of our resources are going, and it's at the power. It's at the Super Bowl at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and it's funny because just recently the Browns go into a naming rights deal with who? First Energy, and now a different power company, I think it's called Entergy or something, does this on the national stage.
It already sounds shifty.
Right? Entergy. Now, you just misspelled energy and expected us to believe you. No, it's, 34 minutes was the total delay time. Boy, was it a hell of a game coming out of it. Honestly, pre-power outage, not the best game. You had Baltimore just laying it on thick. They come out in the second half and immediately return the opening kickoff. It did not look pretty for the 49ers. And then all of a sudden, as if a light just turned on, that's clever. I don't know if you call it an allegory, but it's clever. The 49ers suddenly remembered that they're the San Francisco 49ers. And I still, even though the result was what the result was, I've been saying all season long on Twitter and social media and things, if the 49ers play like the 49ers can play, no one can beat them. They can beat anyone. But unfortunately, Colin Kaepernick finally decided to play like someone who's only had 10 starts. And some very questionable decisions there, but then some spectacular throws to make up for it. I found out a ridiculous stat. I don't have the specific numbers in front of me, but I know that the 49ers averaged about 7.9 yards per play. And that has, A, never happened in a losing effort in the Super Bowl. And B, anyone who's ever averaged 7.9 or better in Super Bowl history has won by double digits every year since the Super Bowl started.
But on the other side of that, what about Baltimore? What did they average in order to win, to beat that?
They averaged less than 7.9. They averaged less yards per play, but ultimately their defense made the difference, and timely plays, doing things when it counted. It's just the part that bothers me the most is the storyline coming out of this. And it's just total and ultimate vindication for Joe Flacco. And maybe it's just me being a media guy, finding him so boring.
First round fantasy next year, I guarantee it.
I mean, his Super Bowl MVP is a Super Bowl champion now. He says he wants Peyton Manning type money, and now he's got something to wave in front of them to get it.
And he also says he's a Raven for life.
That's true. So, I mean, one way or another, yeah, he is going to come to a deal. They're either going to come to an agreement, or more likely, I think, is they're going to franchise tag him this year and then come to an agreement the following year. But
A guy at his age, what do you give him, though? 5 years? 7 years? He wants 7, of course.
I don't know. I mean, he's gotten better, but he just... And I know you can show me the numbers. What was it 10, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions? I think it was 11 touchdowns, no interceptions in the playoffs this year, counting the Super Bowl. But I watch them play, and I can't. I know we're all about the quarterback wins and loses in this league in this day and age, but I just can't say Joe Flacco is winning these games. He's playing, very efficient football. He's got a crazy strong arm, but I think it's because I watch the throws, right? And even in this Super Bowl, is it's always a receiver, Anquan Bolden usually, or Torrey Smith, or Jacoby Jones making a spectacular catch. And you think when your receivers keep making these spectacular catches, at some point it's because you're not putting the ball where they can just, drop it in the breadbasket and go for it, I mean, how often do you see spectacular catches for the Patriots? You don't. You just see consistent catching. Mm-hmm. You see the catch and then
right between the numbers.
Exactly. And I think maybe that's the ultimate thing for Flacco, what kind of separates him. But at least on paper now, he has a Super Bowl, and he's going to get his ring, and now he is a Super Bowl MVP. He already went to Disneyland. Isn't that a little weird? He went today. How could I couldn't do that. I mean, Disneyland.
Do they have a Disneyland in New Orleans?
No. He went to, was it Florida? It's Florida, right? Disney World's in California? I don't know. I don't care.
Land is California. World is Florida.
Then he went to Disney World. I mean, it's right there,
Yeah,
he probably just figured, I'll go to Disney World, then home. I would want to go home and see everybody and be like, look what I did.
Oh, he'll probably be on David Letterman later.
Oh, probably. That's how it works. Now he's going to be all over in the media. And the problem is, he's still so boring. His dad this season described it. He said he's dull. He's dull. There's nothing interesting. He's just incredibly dull.
Yeah, they just say he's all business, and that's it.
I mean, and maybe it's again, like I keep talking about this day and age, maybe it's just everything's the Q number, the marketability factor. We just keep looking at these guys as like, well, what kind of commercials can they do? How interesting will he be on SportsCenter? All that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's tough. But he's earned it. I mean, he's earned the mantle of the most overused term in sports, elite quarterback. I guess by default he's got it.
Yeah, there's got to be at least 40 to 50 elite quarterbacks starting in the NFL nowadays.
I mean, everything's just that term is just scrutinized. Now you're not. You know what I noticed though this weekend is somebody brought up a great point to me. They say, well, he's not elite. He doesn't have a ring yet. How many rings does Dan Marino have? None. You gonna tell me Dan Marino playing today wouldn't be elite?
Yeah, he only went to the one Super Bowl, lost, and everyone thought, oh yeah, don't worry, he'll have plenty of chances to make it back.
It makes me think it's
Never
a weird
again.
it's a weird scenario and a weird question to pose, but it just makes me wonder how would Dan Marino fare today? I think he would be heavily scrutinized. Think of LeBron. Think of athletes now that are great, but then you don't have the ring.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, sure, you're good, but we shouldn't respect you.
They're nothing but hated.
Exactly. Well, LeBron, there are some other things. Let's be fair about that. But I mean,
that goes the same for a lot of athletes, with a few exceptions. They're generally hated by everyone across the country.
If you're just kind of middle of the road, it'll be like, look at this guy, he's a good, like, upcoming talent. But if you're great and don't have a ring, I mean, it's almost easier to just be bad at your sport. At this point, I'd almost rather be a bench guy than like some, super elite figure who doesn't have a ring and is just getting a constant scrutinization. That's a weird word. But I mean, it really, like, I just don't understand how Dan Marino, I mean, how much the league has changed since he's played here. But anyways, let's talk more about the Super Bowl here. their rating share was ridiculous. Did you happen to catch the numbers on that? It was it broke the record set 2 years ago, which was, I believe, was a 48.1 rating share. And I don't understand all those numbers, but I know they said about roughly 2 out of 3 televisions in this country were tuned to the Super Bowl around that number.
Every year, the number just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It is. It's. I remember it was the last 4 years, the Super Bowl has broken its own record for being the most watched show. And then, of course, 4 years before that was the last episode of MASH. So, poor MASH. But, I mean, it's become the ultimate spectacle. And, like, look no further than the commercials this year. What was that? That Calvin Klein one. I couldn't even watch it, where it was just, like, dudes in underwear the whole time. And it was, like, lasted way longer than it should have. The Super Bowl
shouldn't be played during a football game.
The thing is, the Super Bowl, the way it's marketed and everything, it's not even just for us guys anymore. It is literally for everybody. They're trying to get the women in there and stuff. Look at the last 2 years, Beyonce and Madonna. You think that was for us?
No, it really wasn't.
I'll admit though, I wouldn't call. I'm obviously not a. I don't hate Beyonce, but I wouldn't really call myself a Beyonce fan. But she did pretty good, I think. She did very well. That's what I mean. The word on the street is. They saying she did pretty good. I was disappointed for 2 things. Talk a little non-football Super Bowl here.
All right.
2 things. They started doing kind of holograms of her next to her dancing.
Like the Tupac hologram?
That's what I thought. Why not bring hologram Tupac on stage? That was my. I've said this on the show. My favorite musician of all time is hologram Tupac, and they had a perfect opportunity. If with this hologram technology, why are we bringing out all these great dead musicians to sing with these guys?
No, screw that. We'll just make a bunch of Beyonces.
That's
she's on stage.
That's what they did.
You won't know which one is her.
Exactly. It was confusing. I felt like it was a trap from the Riddler. But and then the other thing is, I thought Jay-Z would be there. What is Jay-Z doing that he's so busy that he can't show up with his wife to the Super Bowl? I don't know.
Maybe they didn't have the rights to his hologram.
They legally can't show a hologram of Jay-Z. He owns it. But and then Destiny's Child reunited. Which I wouldn't have known
in
unless.
Person?
Yeah.
I gotta ask.
And not hologram Destiny's Child. No, and the other 2 showed up, and literally until someone told me, I did not realize that was Destiny's Child. I just thought like, oh look, 2 different background dancers, but apparently those are Destiny's 2 other children. I don't know. You could have fooled me, but the commercials. Honestly, they've been going on hill. It's been a rough go of it for a while. It's become too much of a spectacle in and of itself. But I'll tell you, there was one. They're starting to put out more serious ones at the Super Bowl. It used to all be about like the comedy aspect of everything. Like remember the old one where it was like horses playing football, and then there's a sheep that somebody shaved, and it's like we got a streaker. It's like it's funny, But now it's like there was this one where it was 2 minutes long. 2 minutes. If you want to know roughly how much 2 minutes of Super Bowl costs, that's about, let's see, $4 million every 30 seconds, $16 million paid by, I think it was Dodge. It was Dodge. Oh, wow. Good job, them. $16 million, and I can't remember off the top of my head who it was. Money well spent. No, but they did a good commercial, something about, it was like on the 8th day, God created farmers, and it talks about farmers are basically the lifeblood of this country, and it was good. It was good imagery. It's good, good voiceover and everything. It was just really, really deep and stuff. But then at the end they show like a Ram truck, and I was just like, oh, I didn't know that's what it was for. Like it's all these gritty guys. Like we're the hard workers that do what needs to be done so this country ticks. And then at the end, it's a really shiny Dodge truck.
Yeah, you would think at the end of that commercial, it's just a different commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one was on for so long. This must be a new commercial
Exactly.
with a shiny truck.
It just didn't seem like it's like they were going for one thing and then their product is something else. Because it's like the people you're describing, I'm picturing like a ratty pickup truck, but when something goes wrong with it, they just fix it themselves to keep it going because they're farmers, But it's like, they just get shiny new Dodges with government subsidy money. But and then there was, there was some funny ones. There was that Oreo one. I love the Oreo one. It's all over the internet. They got like their top lists of commercials. Nobody's giving any love to Oreos. They're like in the library and they're arguing over like what's better, the cream or the cookie. They're yelling at each other, but they're whispering because it's a library. So it turns into this whole argument, and then all of a sudden everybody in the library is involved in it. They're pushing over bookshelves. People are getting thrown off like the edge of the stairs, and like utter chaos is going. This building's being like destroyed, but they're whispering the whole time because it's a library, and like the cops show up, and they're whispering into a megaphone. You have to stop fighting with the police. It was a good commercial. There was but yeah, no, and then
some
like
amusing ones.
there was a lot of like serious ones. Like there was that Jeep one, where that was another one where it was like real like deep moving imagery, and then at the end they're like Jeep, and it's like what? It was the Oprah commercial. It starts out with a quote from Oprah. She quoted herself, and then
Did she pay for the advertisement out of her own pocket?
I don't know, but it was an Oprah voiceover, and it's talking about our veterans, like the nation's heroes, these people that fight so that we can live, these lives that we have. And then at the end, they're like Jeep. It's like, why? Why is this a Jeep commercial? It's one of those commercials where you could have just put anything at the end, and I would have believed you. It's like IHOP. We love our veterans. Well, good for you, IHOP.
Rudy
Like
Tooty, fresh and fruity.
Coca-Cola. Drink it, veterans. Again, I just would have had no choice but to believe it, because I have no idea what they're doing with it.
Did you see that band commercial for what is it? Coca-Cola and Pepsi, where that one device where it makes your own pop, I guess.
No.
Well, there was one. It's some sort of machine that makes your own, soda fountain pop or whatever the case may be.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that machine.
Right. Well, they were making fun of Coke and Pepsi, and they wanted to play it on the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl said, nope, we're not going to do it because they're a huge sponsor of us.
Oh, yeah, it's all about Coke and Pepsi at the Super Bowl.
Right.
Coke, Pepsi, Budweiser, that's it.
Yeah.
And Doritos. I'm done with Doritos. It's just as a product as a whole.
They should bring back Marlboro.
Where's the Marlboro Man commercials?
Yeah. Camel
Exactly.
Joe.
Good old Camel
Nice.
Joe. No, there's
Kids love him.
Doritos is like, I'm at a point I don't eat a Dorito, and you look at me, I'm not a twig here, so I enjoy the occasional junk food, but Dorito has left my plate unless I'm getting that delicious Dorito taco from Taco Bell. But and now they're commercials, I'm done with them. They're not funny anymore. There's one where like a guy buys a goat and the goat won't stop eating his Doritos, so then he tries to sell the goat and the goat walks in on him and is like shocked. And it's like, who cares about you and your stupid goat and your stupid orange chips?
We've named about 35 products in the last 5 minutes.
We're doing exactly what they wanted us to do. Exactly what they wanted us to do.
Sorry, we're going to send them a bill.
Exactly. Pay up, Doritos. Well, I just heavily insulted them. But pay up anyways. Or send me some free Doritos. Who knows?
Yeah, some snack bags for the green room.
I'll say this.
I'll divulge. I don't care.
I'll talk about one last...
We promise we won't eat them.
I'll talk about one last commercial, and I'll talk about this because it made me more uncomfortable than I think I have been during a football game in a long time. Is GoDaddy.com. Their thing used to be they get that chick out there with the tank top, right? And then it was just like almost has a nip slip, and then it's like, go to the website to see the rest. And like if you go to the website to see the rest, nothing happened. Like it's just like,
what do they even do? Nobody knows. What the hell is GoDaddy?
They're
Is it like a porn site for
They're-
13-year-olds or something?
I'll say this: they're a terrible web hosting site.
Yeah.
I would never
I'm gonna-
use
They're
them,
a
I'm gonna
web
go to their
hosting
website right now.
Yeah, they're a
See
web
what they
hosting
say.
company.
but they're terrible. at
They're
it.
awful.
No, I'll tell you.
Allegedly.
I'll tell you, and Chris will agree with me.
Unless,
Chris,
of course, they want to advertise with
Chris,
us.
for people out
They're
there,
awesome.
that now need web hosting, where do you think they should go?
They should go to Pete99.com.
That's exactly what I was gonna say too.
Web hosting done right.
Exactly. Not like those bastards at GoDaddy. But no, it's the commercial on your screen right there. It's a video
Burning
right
a
there.
bridge before it's even built.
It's they take supermodel Bar Raffaele. She's a beautiful woman, and then they take some really weird nerdy tech guy, right? Because they got
These
this.
guys?
No, go up.
Look
They've
at
got the
Mr.
video right there.
Mr. Beardsley right there.
Oh no, they do worse than Mr. Beardsley on your screen there. Keep going up. It's on the top left. Boom, right there.
Well, this guy. He's
yeah.
awesome.
I've seen him in
Let's
some
play
shows.
that
He's
video.
kind of
Can you
funny.
bring that up on your.
He's I have to go to the website and everything. We'll see if we can get it up on here later. But It's Bar Raffaele, and Bar Raffaele is supposed to be like the outside of GoDaddy. Like this is what GoDaddy looks like. But then Nerdy Tech Guy, he's what it is on the inside. It's all tech and smarts and whatnot. And then, but here's them working together or something. And then they start making out, right? And then it's like, okay, I guess that's kind of funny, whatever. It's, super hot chick making out with some weird nerd. But then, like, all the sound in the background goes dead. So it's just the audio of them sucking face. Then it zooms in. And then it just stays there. And it went from like, oh, that's crazy, to sitting there with my family, just like, I want to leave right now. I want to change the channel away from the Super Bowl. It went way too long. And then they showed it again. By then I knew to go get up and go have some delicious food for my spread. I'll post pictures on the Facebook. My Super Bowl spread is made by my sister. Kudos to her. It was shaped like a giant stadium full of fans with a field. All of food. It was all food. It was all delicious sandwiches and chips and whatnot and other things. And then like the field with spinach dip.
At least you didn't break out the spray paint.
No, the whole thing was edible. You could have just started on one side and started eating it. But it was really big. It was delicious. Well, I'll throw up pictures on the website if I on the Facebook if I get a chance later tonight. But so as a whole, the ads and because there's two sides to the Super Bowl, as we all know. There's the football side, which is obviously the real important part, the part that stays with you, and then there is it is very not equally as important, but very important is the entertainment side of it with the commercials and the halftime show and everything. The Super Bowl is so much more than just a football game at this point. It is the ultimate entertainment spectacle. It is once a year when just all the nation's eyes just turn to one spot, which makes me wonder about the commercials where they pay $4 million but then run an old commercial. It's like you're wasting your time and mine. So, I don't get those people.
I'll bring it out right now. My grandma just watches the post-game show.
Just of the Super Bowl?
Yeah, she says she likes to see people celebrating like that, and it's a huge celebration. Don't laugh at my grandmother. How dare you?
That's adorable. My grandma once asked me when the Browns, I'm going to stress the names here, when the Cleveland Browns were facing the Green Bay Packers, which one was us? Which one the Browns were? And I had to politely say the Green Bay Packers are green and the Browns are brown. So I think your grandma's ahead of mine with her sports knowledge. That's delightful though. Just watch him celebrate the little ticker tape and all the. Did you notice the confetti shaped like the Lombardi Trophy? I didn't know that until it sticks on somebody's shoulder or something. But no, I could barely stomach watching it. Obviously, as a Browns fan, watching the end there. It's like when they're all celebrating. I stuck around to find out who the MVP is because I know for the show and everything, and I need to know who the MVP is. And I mostly stuck around to make sure that the MVP wasn't Ray Lewis. Do whatever I could to help prevent that from happening because it's just there's a part of me that's just like it's Ray Lewis. It's gonna be Ray Lewis. It's Ray Lewis. And because let's be honest, going into this, he was the favorite. Actually, a lot of Vegas prop bets as to who will be the MVP. And I knew going into this game he wasn't going to be doing anything. People are so afraid to admit it, but Ray Lewis, he lost a step, especially with his injury. He didn't spray enough deer antler spray. So, he can only come back so much. But he is still phenomenal till the end, I think, even after 17 years. But he's definitely not what he was, say, 5-6 years ago. And nobody wanted to admit that because the thing is, the less he plays well on the field, the louder he gets off the field. So you don't even get a chance to notice he's not doing as well because he's just shouting like a madman at the 50-yard line all the time.
He's got crazy eyes, too.
Oh, no, yeah, he does. Eyes like someone who killed 2 brothers from Akron after the last Super Bowl, allegedly. Just saying. I said allegedly, so we're cool. Did you see, though, when Jim Nantz, who, side note, least favorite guy to see do the Super Bowl, of the big three, when we got Al Michaels, Joe Buck, Jim Nantz. Jim Nantz shouldn't even be compared to those three. But either way, Jim Nantz, when he's just shockingly big, too, he's like 6'4". I didn't even know that. but he's got the microphone and he goes to Ray Lewis, right? As soon as the mic gets within the vicinity of Ray Lewis grabbed it with his hand and pulled it like to him. Jim Nantz, kudos for him and thank you to him. He did not let go.
Oh, that's
And
rule number one.
They showed on his hand, like I've seen like the video now more today. They zoom in on his hand and stuff, and he's just really like, he's got like a G.I. Joe kung fu grip going on this mic. He's like, I am not letting go of this. And thank you to him for doing that, because if he let go of that mic, Ray Lewis would still be talking now. We wouldn't even be on. We would just be showing live footage of the 28-hour press conference from Ray Lewis or whatever. I mean, that was a good play by Nance. Yeah. But Phil Simms is a terrible color man. Terrible color commentary guy. I don't even know what to say. They do like his all iron team. Their logo was an iron, like to iron clothes. I don't think he understands what that means. It's not like we're the all ironing your clothes team. It's iron like metal, like you can't break it, you know? But I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. But, you know, there were some non-Super Bowl things, shockingly. Still NFL, though, that happened this weekend. We're going to talk just briefly about them. The awards were announced. They try to do a show now, like hosted by Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, like it's the Oscars
and stuff.
or something.
Like, I can't watch that. I honestly, I just skip it.
Watch award shows as it is.
I just skip it and I get the alerts on my phone and I'll just find out there.
You want to make it watchable? Make it a roast.
There you go. Like they're making fun of them. You know, have like
the whole time.
Exactly. Have like the Comedy Central basically unemployed roast team.
Yeah, this
come in
guy's
there.
terrible. He's going to be out of a job, and in all seriousness, he's the rookie of the year.
Yeah, just start ripping like Adrian Peterson. In all seriousness, MVP. Round of applause. Good work.
Lisa Lampanelli hosting it.
Exactly.
I like black guys.
I want to know what Larry the Cable Guy has to say about RG3.
Oh, I bet he's a great roaster.
He's terrible. Anyways, like I said, Adrian Peterson was the
make him
most
do it without his
valuable
gimmick.
player. I want to hear him talk like a normal. That like doesn't exist.
You ever see his
I've
old
Googled
comedy?
I haven't.
It's under his like real name. I forget
Like
what that
Dave
is.
something or Dan?
Oh, who knows?
I thought he's from New
Oh,
York.
Larry the Cable?
Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy.
I'll get it. Hold on.
Yeah, and his old comedy, like from the late '80s, it's like he's wearing a suit and stuff. Like he was like it's not Star Search, but you know, one of those old school comedy shows that
Yeah.
probably aired late night on a Saturday night on some channel. But yeah, he's just telling bad jokes, getting some mild laughs.
Daniel Lawrence Whitney.
Wow.
Dan Whitney, that's right.
Wow.
February 17th, 1963
Where was he born? I heard it was New York.
No, he was born in Nebraska.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I know too much about
mean-
Larry the Cable Guy. I deserve
Yeah.
to be hit.
I have
with
a sterner cutoff for the whole redneck
His
thing as far as state lines, but I don't know.
his medium is stand-up television, film, voiceover artist, radio, and books.
I think it should only be called
Radio? What radio?
What?
When was he in radio?
Surprise! He's joining High on Sports.
Awesome.
He's on Blue
No,
Collar Radio
no.
on a certain satellites.
Oh, okay.
service.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Anyways, Adrian Peterson, not Larry the Cable Guy, actually, the MVP of the league this year.
Deservedly so.
Oh, deservedly so, definitely. It's hard because both he and Peyton Manning took teams that took teams and brought them much farther than one
They
would have
were-
expected.
yeah.
But honestly, we know how much better Manning is than Tebow. But you got to look at it this way: they were a playoff team last season, and then still a playoff team this season. Minnesota did not have a
one
great
game
deal
farther.
of turnover, yet he ran them into the playoffs. You know, you got to give that to him. I mean, 2,019 yards, 9 shy.
I don't even know
of
who
breaking-
Minnesota's quarterback is.
It's what's that?
I'm sure
kid's
he's
name?
elite though.
Oh, he's definitely elite. He's got a 2,000-yard rusher. No, it's Christian Ponder from Florida State.
I thought he was a
Under
running back.
his second year. Peyton Manning, comeback player of the year, though. So that's interesting. Bruce Arians, the first ever interim coach to be named head coach of the year. That is really interesting. Adrian Peterson, offensive player of the year. J.J. Watt of the Houston Texans, defensive player of the year. Offensive rookie RG3, Defensive rookie Luke Kuechly out of the Carolina Panthers, the linebacker. RG3 a bit of a surprise. Thought it was going to be luck, but this was a crazy year. Who knows what went which way. But we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, you're going to find out what's urinating us off. If there's time, we might touch on the NFL Hall of Fame class of 2013, a Buckeye getting in. Always good to see. It's so exciting. It's that time of the year. A new list of PED users from Major League Baseball. Find out whose team wants to void a superstar's contract. 3 Up, 3 Down, all that, so much more. Listen to High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
Oh, great. Not another Farm Bill request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one Farm Bill request at a time. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningshowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. Are you tired of all the overhyped advertisements for energy drinks and energy supplements?
Maybe skydiving from a suborbital spacecraft or jumping a snowmobile over 80 buses is not in your agenda.
Maybe you just want to make it through the day effectively. Whether it's work, school, or raising a family, life's demands can be overwhelming. When you need that extra kick in the butt to help get you going, try Cocaine Energy. You'll not find a more effective energy supplement. Cocaine Energy has higher caffeine content per ounce than any other energy supplement on the market, and it's safe. Worried about the side effects of so much caffeine? We got you covered. Cocaine is scientifically formulated to mitigate against the side effects normally associated with large doses of caffeine, such as the jitters and heart palpitations. So what are you waiting for? Try cocaine today, because life doesn't wait. Cocaine is available at local retailers and online at www.drinkcocaine.com. That's drinkcocaine.com. Once again, that's drinkcocaine.com. This product does not contain the drug cocaine. Duh. This product is not intended to be an alternative to an illicit street drug. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Not recommended for children, pregnant women, or people sensitive to caffeine. You know, the standard computer keyboard has been around for a long time. Don't you think it's time for something you can configure yourself and change at the touch of a button? Well, that keyboard is closer than you think. It's called the Swyboard. All that cool stuff you can do on a touchscreen, well, now you can do it on a keyboard. The Swyboard is more than a keyboard. It's a command center, and you can be part of making the Swyboard a reality. Go to Swyboard.com, check it out, and become a supporter. One contributor will win a Swyboard from the first production run. Make the keyboard of the future a reality now. Go to Swyboard.com. That's Swyboard.com. Heat 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Hey, local bands and unsigned artists. What if I told you there was a place in Cleveland where you can get your merch made and have it sold in one location? What if I said you could bring your CDs and tickets to upcoming shows to this location? And what if I said you could do live acoustic sets at this location? I bet you're thinking there's no such place in Cleveland. Guess what? You'd be wrong. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland, and tell him you need merch made and you want to sell it in his store. Now, how cool is that? You can tell your fans to come down and get your stuff, and I think he'd ship your products to your fans. And he's local. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland today. 216-622-0377. That's 216-622-0377. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com. Hey, Sam. Hey, excuse me. Am I interrupting nap time? In this economy, it was hard to get this job. Unfortunately, it's even harder to keep it. And there's only so much a coffee machine can do. Wakey, wakey. Hello. You don't need yet another expensive trip to the corporate coffee shop. You need the tastiest, most effective energy shot on the market. Are you fucking kidding me? The Cocaine Energy Shot is an energy supplement with a whopping 280 milligrams of caffeine in each sugar-free, zero-calorie 2-ounce dose, delivering consistent all-day energy without causing the palpitations and jitters that can ruin your day. It's delicious, too. When you wake up, you're fired. Sweet dreams, idiot. Why did I even hire this guy in the first place? What? What's this wrong? Oh, man. What? Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Whatever. The new Cocaine Energy Shot. Sure, it's got a naughty name, but this little liquid miracle will beat out the competition to keep you at your best. Ask for it by name at your local retailer. If they don't carry it, demand that they do. Let's go! Or buy online at drinkcocaine.com. That's drinkcocaine.com. One more time. That's drinkcocaine.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Not recommended for pregnant women, children, or people sensitive to caffeine. MSC Radio Network has just tweeted the following. This bowel movement won't come out. Check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/MSC Radio Network.
Hello, and welcome back to High on Sports. I am Ralphie, and with me, as always,
What's up? I'm Von Erich.
Von Erich at the
At the big boys
at the
table.
big boy table today. Moving up,
Yeah. I'm far
Ashley,
away from my computer. My chair sucks.
right? You see the adversity we face every week. Yet we come out with
If
this
I were you
glorious
guys, I would
product.
start knocking mics over and
We make it work somehow. You know, you find
I'd
that
break my own
you find that
computer.
someone where somehow you can make the mics cross over without bumping each other,
oh, like in Ghostbusters,
and that's how important.
don't cross the streams.
It's exactly like that. And Ashley is she's my Ghostbuster, whatever that means. And
That sounded weird as hell.
It does. Well, anyways, Ashley not with us this evening, but she will be back next week. Her car is on
Get well
7-day
soon.
disabled. Let's get well soon. Ashley's car, if you're listening,
It's haunted.
her car is haunted. I guess. Breaking news: Ashley's car haunted.
If we only had a Ghostbuster show here at the network.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for making High on
Oh, we
Sports
did?
a part of your
Oops.
evening, whether you're on your computer or on one of the many glorious apps. If you're not listening on an app from your smartphone or tablet, for that matter, remember you can go to the App Store and just search TuneIn Radio. It's free to download. Install it and just search MSC Radio Network. Hit play. You're listening to our show. You listen to every other show during the week. It's all from that same stream, MSC Radio Network on the TuneIn Radio app. 100% free. No bells and whistles to trick you with and stuff. Remember, as always, email the show, shows at morningshowcentral.com. Call us toll free, 1-888-668-0742. You can tweet at us at high_on_sports or with the hashtag high_on_sports. And again, the Facebook is facebook.com/high_on_sports and the website high_on_sportsradioshow.com. It's got the archive of all our past shows and a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, high_on_sportsradioshow.com. All right, we got a lot to get to here. So let's get right into things here. It is round 2. Let's go.
The
deuce. It is time for a staple of High on Sports, and that is of course what's urinating us off. Von Erich, we talked about something. Are you going to you want to go with that for your?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, then we are going to start as we always do with Von Erich. Von Erich, what's urinating you off?
Well, as we all know, Super Bowl was yesterday. Duh.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. But for some reason, I couldn't listen to it live while I was in my vehicle. Let's say because of a certain satellite radio service that will go unnamed. I'm not going to tell you which one it was because that's just rude. But since I didn't have the NFL package purchased, I was completely blacklisted. No NFL coverage at all. They took away some of my ESPN channels while the Super Bowl was going on. No score at all. I'll show Ralphie. I took a picture of what I was listening to during the Super Bowl. I was able to watch most of the highlights and all of it after the game, but while it was going on, I was busy. I had to be out on the road doing some things. Here is what I was.
This is you were just listening to you were listening to a baseball game from October 14th, 1992.
That was the NLCS Game 7.
Yeah, how'd it turn out?
Atlanta Braves won.
Ooh.
Beating the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Ooh, shocking.
Back when
Everybody
Barry Bonds was on the Pirates.
Call your bookie 21 years ago and put it all on the Braves. So
yeah, it just urinates me off that for the biggest game of the year, the most watched thing that they can. I understand if they can't give me the play-by-play, but leave me the ESPN. Well, they'll tell me highlights and replay some things. But it's one of those packages where you can get MLB, NBA, and NHL, or you can get the NFL and NASCAR. It's one or the other.
Oh,
so
really?
I went with the. You can get them both for a considerably higher price. It makes it not worth it.
So you want to know what sports package do you get again?
I get the NHL, MLB, and NBA.
Well, I mean, more bang for your. I mean, those are important. Well, 2 out of those 3 are fairly important.
Yeah, listen to some basketball games every now and again. Listen to baseball games all summer, of course.
I tell you what, listening to basketball games has changed too, though. I'll say that. Joe Tate, he was one of the best in the business. I mean, ever.
Yeah, and even still,
I still hear
the action is so fast that they're a few seconds behind by the time 3 passes go and they try and shoot.
I still hear Joe Tate when I think about the Cavs, and I just think how fortunate were we as Cleveland fans to live in an era where it was Joe Tate doing our basketball. Jim Donovan on the radio still does the Browns today. He's fantastic because of just how much he has to set up before he's describing where literally every single player is. They're lining up, and then he's like Masako lining up, wide right, like a yard shy of the hash mark, and setting up where everyone is, and then calling the play, and then starting over. And, and Todd Hamilton.
He does paint a pretty picture there, Doug.
Oh, yeah. And Doug Deacon. Doug Deacon's a great color commentary, too. I love Doug Deacon. He's great. I saw it was an old episode of Big Chuck and Little John to do their little skits stuff. They did one a while back where it was a really old one when Doug Deacon was still on the team, and they do with Mean Joe Green, the old Super Bowl commercial. But then Little Johnny's a little person is the name we have to say now. But so he was playing the kid, and then so they do it like, hey, you want some of my Coke? And Mean Joe Green jinxed it, and then he's like, hey, kid, and he's gonna throw him the jersey. And then he just passes out, and they play it up like he was poisoned. And then Doug Deacon turns on the corner and he's like, "Did it work?" And he's like, "Yeah, we got him." It was hilarious. But and then in baseball with the Indians,
more commercials like that.
Exactly. And honestly, the best radio play-by-play guy we got in the city right now is Todd Hamilton. with the Cleveland Indians.
Joe Tate, former play-by-play guy for the Indians.
That's right. It was him and
Never
Bruce
got to-
Trennan, wasn't it?
Yeah, I never got to hear those. Well, that was a little bit before our time, but
Yeah. But Todd,
I'm sure it was good.
Todd Hamilton's just one of the great ones. We really did. We were very fortunate to have a trio like we had, over the last couple of years. But I mean, this new guy for the Cavs, he's just
Oh, I thought you were going to say the new guy for the Indians, Jim Rosenhaus. He's not too shabby. I like
he's
him.
he's not bad. But I mean, this new guy for the Cavs, he's all right. He's not bad. Is the thing. I mean, his words are clear. The thoughts are all coming together. He's describing it fairly well. But he's just he's hurt by the fact of following a legend.
Yeah.
Like how I regret, whoever someday takes over High on Sports. You don't have to worry about following me. And those, that poor SOB. But that's I guess that's it for urinating off, because I got some other stuff I want to get to here real quick.
Yeah, enough of being urinated off.
No, this is a happy time, aside from the fact that Ravens won the Super Bowl. But I've been doing pretty well of making myself not think about it, I think. I was actually, earlier today, I'm listening to music. I like to listen to music early in the day on Showtime, get pumped a little bit. I'm listening to, like some rock and metal and stuff, get in the zone. And then I saw something on TV and they throw up somebody's stat line from the game and just all the energy was out of it. And I was like, I don't want to listen to this crap. I just pulled my headphones out. I was like, music is dumb. But no, it's good. And if you like music, as everyone in the world does, remember to stick around immediately following High on Sports for everything in between with your host, this guy.
Yeah, that's me.
All right.
We'll talk some sports later. Mainly the Puppy Bowl.
Oh, it was a classic. I feel bad for my dog. I would leave the TV on so he doesn't, people do that with dogs so they get noise.
Dogs couldn't see the TV.
No,
Well,
but
they
it's
can
the
see-
sound. It's they hear it, And they like to hear, they like to think they're not home alone, I guess. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But we leave that on, and I come home, and I realize that the Puppy Bowl has been playing on a loop for 7-8 hours. And
they just had it going right after.
My poor dog. It's like, if he had hands, he might have shot himself. I don't know.
He might have unlocked the gun safe.
But I did walk home in time.
Loaded the shotgun.
I did walk home in time to see the Kitty halftime show, which was, there's Beyonce is down here. Kitty halftime show. If you were listening to this and not seeing it, the Kitty halftime show was way higher.
I was a bit
it was
offended
terrible.
by the kiss cam.
Oh, what happened?
It was promoting bestiality. I'll discuss it.
Whoa. Worth checking out on everything in between immediately following on sports. Whoa. I noticed they did just seem to the heart and soul of the game is dead. It used to be about the puppies. Now they're just throwing their Animal Planet personalities in there. They're different people from their stupid shows. There's this one guy where he's got this really weird beard and tattoos.
Like we were watching The Best Week Ever.
And he's the cat guy or something. It's just...
yeah, that was unnecessary.
It's about the dogs and about their craft and about watching them eat and drink out of little bowls while the game's going on. That's how I was raised. Anyways.
And pee on the field.
And pee on the field. That's what America's about. NFL Hall of Fame. There's my transition. It was a good one. NFL Hall of Fame. These are people that played actual football and, to the best of my knowledge, never peed on the field. But I could be wrong. Really good class coming in this year. Announced this weekend. Warren Sapp, Chris Carter, Jonathan Ogden, Larry Allen, and I don't have in front of me the two seniors, but I think Dave Robinson and Curly Culp, something like that. I'm sorry. I'm never high on the senior class getting in because I don't want to get too technical, but the senior class was created because the Pro Football Hall of Fame started 50 years after the NFL started, right? So in those 50 years, you had a bunch of people retire that would now not be eligible Hall of Fame. So the senior class was created to get people in from before the Hall existed, right? But now we're in an era where that's already lapsed over. Everyone that is ever put in the senior class now is someone who was on the ballot for the Hall and couldn't get the votes. So I don't understand why
with the baseball
it's
Hall of Fame as well, and all Hall of Fames, I'm sure.
I just don't understand why it's well, you weren't good, you weren't Hall of Fame material 30 years ago, but now you are. I just don't understand that. But
it's all about politics too. Another Hall of Fame class that was announced the other day, a little bit of non-sports, but the WWE. a longtime legend, Bruno Sammartino, finally gets inducted because
About damn time.
Bad politics, between him and Vince McMahon. Sure, that's it's all water under the bridge now.
Oh yeah.
You might even bring him back just to fire him live on the air.
Curly Culp, Dave Robinson, by the way. I was right on the names. Those are our senior class. Chris Carter, by the way, most excited about it. He's a former Ohio State Buckeye.
Yep.
So good for him. Round of applause for that.
OHIO.
There it is. All right. We got a couple months before we really need to worry about. Well, no, March Madness.
Yeah.
And then they're playing basketball
Buckeyes
now.
are ranked 10th right now, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's right. And always a good day. Michigan not ranked 1 anymore.
Yeah, that would be Indiana.
Indiana's back in there.
Yep.
With,
I know my college sports.
With Tyler Zeller's brother.
I'm high on sports right now.
Exactly. But, no, I mean, really just a great Hall of Fame class. By the way, I forgot to mention Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells put into the Hall of Fame. Now, there's one where, there's a no-brainer right there. That was a good call.
Is he done coaching, though? See, I would wait to put a coach in,
that's why I feel like they
until
wait.
he's done.
I really feel like that's one of the reasons they wait on coaches. Why they tend to take a little bit longer than the players do. But I think he's done. Because there was rumors of him going to New Orleans this year. That would have been a great job.
Yeah, as an interim, just for 1 year.
To come coach the Saints for a year. I mean, come coach Drew Brees and that team for a year.
Why the hell not?
That's a pretty good job. And he said no. So, he's in the booth now. He's a broadcaster. So, he's loving that. And it's hard to lure guys out of there once they start to get in there. Gruden and Tony Dungy, perfect examples right there. But, now who knows? But notably left off this list is two people that any Browns fan listening right now. Obviously, we can be heard internationally, but we are broadcasting to you live from deep in the heart of downtown Cleveland.
Yes, we are.
And so, primarily Northeast Ohio is, obviously that's where we're from, born and raised. Kind of good news for Browns fans here. Jerome Bettis left off the list again. The bus from Pittsburgh. Everybody and his brother said, oh, well, in 5 years we'll see him again at the Hall of Fame enshrinement. Now, this is back-to-back years he got shut down. I don't fully understand why.
More politics.
Probably more politics. I don't know. But, also notable, the most notable, I'd say, off this list, especially with everything that's just gone on yesterday and everything, Art Modell, still not a Hall of Famer.
I was talking about this yesterday with a former co-host of ours, Mr. Allen, and we came to the agreement that we don't think that Modell will get in until after the day that the Browns win a Super Bowl. Then after that, it'll just be, whatever. Just give it to him now. Nobody cares. And I think that's one of the reasons that's keeping him out, the way he took the team in the middle of the night, as they say.
Now, the Hall of Fame, I know mostly it's voted on by, it's mostly like baseball. It's kind of writers and stuff like that, somewhat. Now,
Yeah, we need a vote.
We should have votes. But does it work like the Heisman? If you are in the Hall, can you vote in the NFL? I don't know the specifics. We'll have to get
all
an
those
NFL
guys with
Famer
brain
info.
injuries. You want them voting?
Well, I'm just saying there's quite a lot of Browns in there.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that could be part of it. And let's newant
Why?
forget.
Because they have brain injuries? Voting for the wrong guys?
I'm saying they're all voting no on Modell. But let's not forget, though, I always want to point this out because I really like that this happened. The Browns and Steelers are two of the teams with the most Hall of Famers. And let's say hypothetically all the Browns voted no. And I don't think they all would. But you know who might be with them? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because let us not forget the only team that voted no on them moving were the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, they didn't want
They
to
voted
They didn't
against
wanna lose
the Browns
rivalry.
moving to Baltimore.
But they were the minority.
Which,
Obviously.
obviously. But obviously, still hate the Steelers, born and raised that way. But it's always just nice that they respected the rivalry.
And I still don't get the Buffalo Bills having our back, too. Well,
They just feel for us. So it gets cold here, too. I don't blame you guys for being sad all the time. It's freezing in Buffalo.
like, don't worry, Cleveland. We'll play and you can watch us. Like, thanks, Buffalo.
I think I'll watch hockey.
We'll watch the Buffalo Sabres
Exactly.
versus the Pittsburgh Penguins.
All right,
That came on tonight.
Let's talk this real quick. Baseball, because I'm with the man to talk baseball here, is at my right. This doctor in Miami has supposedly this new. Well, I guess it's been proven and everything. He's a known steroid distributor, and this list has come out over this past week with his clients. It's his clientele list. And it's basically this is a list saying here's the people I've given steroids to, and the list has some notable names. We won't really go too in depth with it, but I'll say Melky Cabrera is there, Nelson Cruz is there, Gio Gonzalez is there.
Always hate to see a pitcher on there.
And Alex Rodriguez is there.
He's on another list.
Now one we really knew. One we sort of knew, and the other two I think come as total shocks. Gio Gonzalez and Nelson Cruz. Absolute surprise. Melky Cabrera, yeah, we know. We know, Melky, you're not hiding anything. A-Rod, now we know we got him on a lie. Because he claims, and we all knew he was full of it when he said this, that he took steroids when he first debuted with the Texas Rangers because of fear of being on the big stage.
Because that's just what the Texas Rangers do.
But then he comes to the Yankees and he said, I stopped when I got to New York. If Texas at that time was too big of a stage for you, you're saying by the time I got to the Yankees, that little stage nobody was even watching. It's the Yankees. Who cares? It's the Yankees. If that was a big stage, this is freaking Carnegie Hall. I mean, nobody bought that line from him. And now we know. And now even more reports coming out saying that Melky and Gio and those guys, by the way, it's just Melky, terrible name. Just don't name a kid Melky. It's just weird. But
it came up as my Wu-Tang name.
Did it?
You ever
Melky?
play the Wu?
I've seen it before, yeah.
It came up as Melky Crackerhead.
Melky Crackerhead.
Yeah, that's my
You
Wu-Tang
look like
name.
a Melky Crackerhead. If you told me that, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a good name. But no, Melky and Gio, they guys like that, they would send a third party to go get their steroids and bring it to them. A-Rod supposedly had the doctor that was making this stuff come himself in the middle of the night to A-Rod's house to inject him, like in the living room. What is he doing? He's just watching Sports Center at 2 a.m? He's just like, I could use some steroids right about
The
now.
only thing I could imagine happening was
30 minutes or
the
less,
same
so your
thing
steroids are free.
The same thing that happened to Tiger Woods with A-Rod's girlfriend smashing out his window with a golf club and chasing the steroid guy off. That sounds like fun.
That would be great.
Why couldn't that have happened? No, we get a boring list. Here's guys that use steroids
I know.
sometime in the last 4 years.
It's Dr. Anthony Bosch. He was connected to Manny Ramirez when he was suspended 50 games for violating the drug policy.
One of the times he was suspended 50 games.
One of the times that Manny Ramirez was suspended for violating the drug policy.
Yeah, that's the thing. If these guys get a suspension, A-Rod, he'll just serve it concurrently with his, being on the DL.
And that and the fact that the Yankees are now, A-Rod says he's not going to retire, but the Yankees say that they are now trying to void the contract
Not gonna happen.
with A-Rod. And that's what I want to ask you. I don't like getting too legally mumbly-jumbly. Is A-Rod a Yankee next season?
Yeah, he'll be a Yankee. There's going to be no way they can cut that deal, especially with his agent. All the talk on it is pretty cut and dry. He's getting his money one way or the other. So I don't see them doing a buyout, not with the amount of years and dollars. I don't even know if they can do a buyout with the way the contract is structured. But yeah, he gets his money. In the end, he gets his money.
And that's generally what happens with cheaters. All right, we're nearing the end of the show here, so it's time to end it the way we always do. 3 up, 3 down. These are the 3 people that had the worst weeks in sports. Down number 3. This one's a bit of a confusing one, and it kind of came out of nowhere today. I'm putting the game of soccer as down this week. Europol, which is some investigative group, has said roughly 680 matches over the last couple years are suspected of being fixed, matches throughout all of Europe and Africa, some of them World Cup qualifying.
The
Supposedly
fix is in. It's
rigged
always
by, and here's why I'm giving this my stamp of my 2013 story to watch. The fix was supposedly done by an organized crime syndicate based out of Asia.
Asia? Damn it.
Yeah.
Up in Ireland.
This thing's getting crazy. I'm telling you, soccer boring. Keep an eye on this one. This could become something great.
Now the Yakuza is fixing
soccer games? Sure.
Oh, man.
I'll start watching. Down number 2, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Power outage stopped the Super Bowl for 34 minutes. The Super Bowl. Down number 1, Alex Rodriguez. After his latest steroid allegations, as we just said, Yankees want to terminate his contract. But as Von Erich told you, probably not going to happen.
Nope.
Up number 3, Adrian Peterson, named NFL MVP. Up number 2, this is where things get exciting here.
Ooh.
Baltimore Ravens won Super Bowl 47. They had the second best week in sports. Do you want to know who had the best? It is the Caltech Beavers, the college baseball team, ending their 228-game losing streak. They haven't won in over 10 years with a 9-7 win over Pacifica.
They're already playing? Man, that
They
means women's
ended
softball starting
a
soon. I gotta get on that.
10-year losing streak. Congratulations, Caltech Beavers. Probably the smartest baseball school.
I could have segued that real good.
All right.
Speaking of Beavers, I need to look up the women's
softball. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up
awful.
for us this week. Next week, it's almost time for pitchers and catchers to report.
Yes, 1 week
We're
away.
going to have a bit of baseball preview and so much more for you next week. Oh, it's going to be good.
And all spring long.
Exactly. Spring, summer,
First
all of those
game is
months.
February 22nd, less than a month away.
Oh, I can't wait. That's my niece's birthday. Happy birthday, Kaylee. All right, so for Chris.
Happy birthday to Chris.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Chris. His birthday's this week. It's
Yes, our
tomorrow,
engineer.
right? Happy
Tomorrow.
birthday, Chris. Woo.
Thanks, guys.
All right, now for Chris, Von Erich, and myself, good night, everybody. We will see you next week, same time, same place, on MorningShowCentral.com.
Don't go anywhere.
But stick around.